Taylor Swift. She's everywhere. From what she eats for breakfast to even her love life, it seems like we hear about literally every little thing she does. However, there are some things about Taylor Swift that the media doesn't know much about, and it all revolves around her strange relationship with 4chan. The users on 4chan fall into one of two different groups on how they view Taylor. The first group are the haters that absolutely despise Taylor and her fans. All they want to do is to see her crash and burn while getting some laughs out of it at the same time. These users are the ones causing all of the trouble and organizing the raids to make Taylor's life a living hell. And trust me, these users are in the majority on 4chan. The next group is the users that actually like Taylor Swift. These users rise up as white knights to protect her from all of the hate. Most of them think she is based, and some of them even think she is attractive. But the interesting thing about this group is many of them believe that Taylor herself goes on 4chan. I know what you're thinking, these guys must be delusional, but honestly, they have some pretty good points. But we'll talk more about that later. Anyways, our story begins in 2013, when the Boston radio station Kiss 108 partnered with Taylor Swift and created a contest that all of Taylor's fans would be obsessed with. The contest was named, Are You Taylor Swift's Biggest Fan? And for diehard Swifties, the contest would be extremely lucrative. The teenage girl who won the contest would receive 2 tickets to Taylor's upcoming concert, and they would also get a special VIP meet and greet with Taylor herself. The Swifties were in awe. This was a perfect opportunity to meet their supreme leader so that they could all brag to their friends. The contest was simple. All they had to do was make an account, upload a picture, and click on the button that said, Enter the contest. They could vote for themselves or someone else every 24 hours, so they were encouraged to share their entry with as many people as possible to get to the coveted #1 spot. So Taylor's team would release the contest, and after, everything would run pretty smoothly. Most of the contestants were just harmless teenage girls who wanted to meet Taylor Swift. There were a few weirdos that also entered, but all of them were nowhere near first place. Crisis averted. Taylor's team and the sponsors decided to leave the contest be and check on it once someone had won. A fatal mistake. Soon after, an anonymous user on 4chan decided to make a post, and this is what they said.
This is Taylor Swift. She's fucking hot. You know it. A local radio station has a contest to give some lucky teeny booper a chance to meet her. My creepy 39-year-old friend named Charles would like to crush all those girls' dreams and then sniff Taylor Swift's hair, cause he's into that, by winning this instead. He's made it to 25th place out of over 3,000 applicants with just his friend's support, but he's hitting a plateau. Help him crush the dreams of these girls and give him a chance to make a complete ass of himself by blatantly just sniffing her hair with the cameras rolling.
4chan was in love. Charles would instantly become a hit, and the users in the thread wanted to make his dreams of meeting Taylor Swift come true. After viewing the website, 4chan users could see the profile Charles created, which read,
I'm a 39-year-old man and I love Taylor so much and don't care that both adults and children mock me for it. But I feel 22 if that helps.
This just boosted the love that 4chan had for Charles. The idea of a strange middle-aged man winning the whole Taylor Swift's Biggest Fan contest was too juicy to pass up. Literally every single entry in the contest was entered by a teenage girl, so it was clear Charles was a true outlier. 4chan was excited as could be. Once they got him to #1, they would get to sit back, relax, and watch the madness unfold. 4chan knew exactly what they had to do, so they quickly got to work. Anonymous users from around the globe began voting for Charles, and he was rapidly moving up in the polls. They even went as far as posting on Reddit and other social media platforms with the slogan, Vote for Charles. 4chan was in the process of creating a global movement in support of Charles, and soon he would have the combined backing of all of the main social media platforms.
We stand with you, Charles. Here's my humble tribute to you. Hashtag Charles 2013 Godspeed.
Here in Argentina we are voting for you too. I hope you win, Charles.
You are going to win this, you glorious bastard. Hashtag Charles 2013.
At this point, it seemed like Charles was invincible. One 4chan user even admitted to using scripts to vote for him, from 500 different computers around the world, all at the same time. And because of their collective effort, 4chan and Reddit had boosted Charles past all of the other contestants. By the next morning, he would be #1 in the polls. By a lot. They had done it. Charles Z was now the winner of Taylor's Biggest Fan. It was now set to meet her in person. At this point, Charles was quite possibly the happiest person on the planet, so he posted on Twitter in celebration.
All glory to the sorcerer champions of /B/ who propelled me to number 1. I'm amazed and honored and I thank you all. Drinks are on me.
And the anonymous users on 4chan would celebrate alongside him.
All hail the king of /B/.
We love you, Charles. Anon's elected king.
Wait a minute. Charles was good now, right? He won the contest fair and square. Well, maybe not necessarily fair, but he still won, right? Surely there's nothing that the contest organizers could do to take it away from him. Sadly, the fun would be short-lived. Swiftie journalists would take to the streets, and by the streets, I mean the internet, because they spammed articles about the event on every social media site they could get their hands on, saying anything to get the contest shut down. To top it off, they were absolutely ruthless when mentioning anything about Charles or 4chan. First, they claimed that 4chan had manipulated the voting system, but that was honestly true, so that just means they did some good research. But on top of this, they were bad-mouthing Charles, calling him a creepy old man, among other terrible things. One day, Charles felt like the king of the world, and the next, well, every single news agency was ruining his life and making him look like some type of dangerous criminal. And yeah, Charles seems like a strange guy. He also is a tad bit creepy. Okay, maybe a lot creepy. But seriously, did Charles really deserve all of the hate he was getting? I mean, he deserves some criticism, but he probably felt so terrible when this was happening, especially since 4chan did most of the work. Eventually, the contest organizers became aware of 4chan manipulating the votes, and Kiss 108 decided to cancel the contest altogether.
Rumor has it, Kiss 108 took down the leaderboard so they can claim whoever they want to win the contest.
Poor Charles would just have to sit back and take all of the hate, and trust me, he got a lot of it.
Boston's Kiss 108 radio station pulled the plug on its Taylor Swift's biggest fan meet and greet contest, all thanks to Reddit users and a site called 4chan who helped a 39-year-old guy named Charles Z come in first place. Oh man, the one chance for this guy to leave his basement is now totally ruined.
The lucky winner was allegedly a creepy 39-year-old man named Charles who wanted to smell Taylor's hair. Honestly, middle-aged perverts, ain't nobody got time for that, especially not Taylor.
How bad is that where you're so creepy that the radio station feels it's a better PR move to revoke a contest from you?
Why wouldn't they just be honest and say, Taylor Swift is scared, and therefore we're canceling the contest?
But all of this just enraged 4chan, because they knew deep down that Charles deserved to win. And even without the votes obtained illegally through botting, he still would have won. But at the very least, 4chan believed the media shouldn't be saying all of these mean things about him. This is something that even the Redditors felt strongly about as well. 4chan would demand answers, and the movement, #JusticeForCharles, would take over Twitter.
A man has a dream. #JusticeForCharles. Officially boycotting at Kiss 108 and throwing all of my Taylor Swift 13 CDs in the garbage.
How can you deny a man's dream to sniff Taylor Swift's hair? That's heartless. #JusticeForCharles.
Charles would then add flames to the fire and say this on Twitter.
All I did was enter a contest and win. You can't start setting the bleachers on fire if the other team hits a home run.
Unfortunately for Charles Z, he would never get to meet Taylor Swift in person. Although, Charles would obtain something arguably better than that. He would be seen as a legend within the 4chan community, and he would forever solidify as a meme. Whenever there was another radio station contest, 4chan would always make sure that Charles would win. Like the Good Morning America Selena Gomez meet and greet, and the Z100 Jonas Brothers VIP experience. Yeah, 4chan made sure that Charles would win both of those, but of course, every single time, the contest would get cancelled and the media would attack Charles. But Charles would still forever be a hero on 4chan and the internet alike.
You are one of America's true heroes, Charles. You're my hero.
In August of 2012, Taylor and her marketing team decided that one contest wouldn't nearly be enough. They wanted to redeem themselves by creating something new and trendy that the Swifties would adore. So Taylor worked with Chegg, Papa John's, CoverGirl, and American Greetings to create a contest that was foolproof. The contest was called Save the Music and was held by a television company called VH1. The contest creators were careful. They had to make sure that it was interactive, but not too much, so there was no way 4chan and the internet could mess things up for the fans. So the contest creators came up with the bright idea that Taylor would perform at the school in America that would get the most votes from an online poll. All the fans had to do was log onto the website and select their school from the list of American schools already there. Taylor then released a video on YouTube to get her fans even more excited.
Hey guys, it's Taylor. I would really love to play a free concert at your school. So if you go on TaylorSwiftOnCampus.com, you can vote, and you could win a VH1 Storytellers concert or one of 5 $10,000 scholarships. It's so cool. And it's all brought to you by Chegg for Good, and the school with the most votes wins. So vote. Good luck. See you soon.
Taylor and the sponsors were confident. Finally, an online contest where even the most experienced 4chan user couldn't mess up. They could literally only vote for schools in America that were listed online, so there isn't any plausible way this could be exploited, right? But it wouldn't be long until one user had a brilliant idea that everyone on 4chan would get behind.
Taylor Swift is having a competition to perform at the school that has the most votes online. Let's make her go to the Horace Mann School for the Deaf.
It was perfect. The contest creators must have overlooked this school while making the list. 4chan would be determined to send Taylor Swift and her sponsors to a school for deaf kids for her to perform. All 4chan had to do was accumulate more votes than the current winner, which was Arizona State, with only around 3,000 votes. 4chan began spamming as many votes as possible for the cause, and within the next few hours, the Horace Mann School for the Deaf would reach over 50,000 votes, which blasted past all of the competition. The media would soon catch on, and articles would be posted everywhere, talking about what 4chan had done. Before 4chan had a chance to celebrate their win, Taylor's marketing team would back out from the contest, saying that 4chan once again tampered with the results. 4chan was upset about this. Even though they were clearly trolling Taylor and the contest sponsors, they believed that some of the kids at the school would still like to see Taylor perform. Of course, the media would stand by Taylor's decision to back out of everything, painting 4chan as the bad guys.
Now, we hate to hear that the school was a victim to such a nasty prank, and shame on those kids who were a part of the prank. It is not okay to act like this, but we do love that Taylor took it upon herself to make things right with the students and to make sure that they weren't left completely empty-handed.
And yes, the students didn't leave empty-handed. Taylor Swift personally donated $10,000 of her own money to the school, which was also matched by the 4 other contest sponsors, bringing the total donation count to around $50,000. Each student also received 2 tickets to Taylor's upcoming concert, just in case if they still wanted to see her live. After, 4chan was proud of themselves. They had a good laugh, and they helped out deaf children in the meantime. It was a win-win. Surprisingly, Taylor ended up performing at the Harvey Mudd College in California, which ended up getting in 2nd place. Taylor then posted another video after the contest was concluded.
Hey, it's Taylor. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who entered in the campus concert contest. We had an amazing time at the winning school, Harvey Mudd in Claremont, California, and you can watch it on VH1 Storytellers November 11th. Please check out my new album, Red, that comes out October 22nd. I've worked on it for 2 years, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chad, for reading Taylor to our school!
Behind the scenes, while these events were happening, some anonymous users actually stood up for Taylor Swift. This is because of one interesting theory that has been brewing on 4chan for years, one which would make them question if Taylor Swift was really a foe. Some users believe that it's possible Taylor could be one of them, an anonymous user that also goes on 4chan. I know it sounds crazy, and honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Taylor had never been on the site before, but at the same time, the theory is pretty interesting, so let's dive right into it. The first post is of an anonymous user who uploaded a selfie on 4chan. She said this in her post.
Hi B, I'm feeling down. Please make me smile.
4chan did what they do best and eventually made her laugh. But they also decided to look more into this mysterious girl to see if they could find her true identity. They analyzed every part of the picture to try to determine what they could find. After running an analysis, one user was entirely shocked when they came across a selfie of Taylor Swift with the same backdrop. To top it off, the girl posting the selfie looked awfully like Taylor Swift. However, this ended up being debunked, as the picture was posted before on another website in the past. But it got 4chan users thinking, what if Taylor Swift was actually a user on 4chan? The rumors began to quickly spread. It would be years until 4chan would get another interesting post that could be Taylor, but this time, they would have to wait till 2011. The new thread was a picture of a cat, with the anonymous user saying,
Trips name's my new kitten.
For those who aren't acquainted with 4chan lingo, you might not know what trips are. Each comment that is posted on 4chan is associated with a number, and if you get trips, that would mean the last 3 digits of your post number were the same. But before your post, there's really no good way to accurately guess the last 3 digits. So if you got trips, it would be pretty unlikely. For example, you could get the number 999 at the end of your post, which is what one anonymous user would get quickly after the thread opened up. The anonymous user suggested to the poster that they should name the cat Meredith, and since they were the first one to get trips, that's what the poster was obligated to name the cat. Believe it or not, the very next day, news articles would be published talking about Taylor's new pet cat, named, you guessed it, Meredith. Now this could be a coincidence, but clearly it would be a strange one. The next piece of information would be a bit crazier than the rest. An anonymous user on 4chan posted about this in the morning.
Nothing quite like a freezing cold, wintry beach. Also Rule 1.
For those who don't know, Rule 1 on 4chan is that you don't talk about 4chan outside the site, kind of like the movie Fight Club.
The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
Strangely enough, later on the same day, Taylor Swift posted the exact same thing on Twitter and Instagram at that location, minus the Rule 1 part. 4chan users were able to check the image data from the picture, which showed the location, along with the date and time it was taken. Unfortunately, the timestamp is lost on Taylor's post. So it's possible this picture could have been uploaded on 4chan after Taylor did hers. However, the 4chan user posted this at 9 AM, so it's unlikely Taylor was at the beach posting on social media before then. Another tidbit would be from December 2014, where users in the thread were talking about the upcoming new year. One of the users claimed to be on the Dick Clark's Rocking Eve for 2015. For those who don't know, this New Year's Eve party is broadcasted from New York to millions of viewers across the United States. The anonymous user then said that they would do something subtle to let users on 4chan know that they were for real. One user recommended that they should fall over. The mysterious user then said that they were down to do it. When the New Year's event came on, Taylor Swift was there. To top things off, at the end of her show, she fell over. This could be another coincidence, but who knows. There are also other various pieces of not as great evidence on 4chan, like the time she supposedly posted a selfie with her cat, which was taken down almost instantly, or the time the creator of 4chan, Moot, posted on a thread that users thought was started by her, or even the time where an original picture of a lion at a zoo was uploaded the same day Taylor was visiting the London Zoo. Unfortunately, there's been no concrete evidence that shows Taylor going on 4chan, and Moot himself has even attempted to debunk these claims multiple times. But many of the users think it's strange that he would do that. Why go through all the trouble of taking down these threads and telling everyone Taylor doesn't go on 4chan? Moot barely makes appearances otherwise, so why does he feel so strongly about this? Interestingly enough, Moot has met Taylor Swift before, and they got a picture at the Oscar after party together in 2011. Along with this, Moot tweeted around the same time, claiming that he was hanging out with Taylor. Because of these things, it's a good chance that Moot and Taylor are actually good friends behind the scenes. So some users think that if Taylor Swift was going on the site, Moot was attempting to hide it for whatever reason. Maybe it would make Taylor look bad if she was an active 4chan user. Or maybe they just want to keep the users guessing. Some users even think that Taylor Swift is actually a mastermind, using the online polls she created, knowing that the 4chan community would try to troll her. Think about it. No one would care if some random kid or boring university won in one of her contests. But everyone was in flames when Charles won, and also the school for deaf kids. These events honestly just made Taylor Swift even more famous. It's interesting because some of these celebrities seem to be drawn to the anonymity of the internet, where they can act like a normal person among other people, without being viewed as their celebrity selves. It was found that the singer Lorde probably went on 4chan when she asked for people's opinions on an unfinished song that she would later release the next year. Lorde ended up denying it, but at the very least, someone from her team or close to her went on 4chan to upload the song. Even though it's possible that Taylor Swift was a lurker on 4chan, there's not enough evidence to clearly show that she is. Honestly, much of the evidence has been thoroughly sifted through and debunked by various people, so most people believe that this theory is fake. Although, a good chunk of users on 4chan swear by it and believe that Taylor is amongst them. Who knows? Taylor Swift could actually be one of the geniuses trolling on 4chan. I hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching.